This is my first time doing this. Like I've done like the Let's Meet show where it's like me behind the camera.
Yeah, but this is like
I've never done where like I'm here sitting with the guest, having a conversation.
Let's go.
And just trying to make sure it's all right. But I think it's all right. I'm confident. So
no,
everybody,
100%.
I'm confident.
I feel like I'm in a literal TV show. Like
you are. It's broadcast. This is the secular broadcast. We're a startup network. We're still trying to make it in Denver. But yeah, this is my homegirl Angie, aka Spacey Baby Radio or Spacey Baby. I'm not sure exactly how she goes by that.
Just Angie.
Yeah, Angie's just great. I wanted to have Angie up here because Angie's one of the first creatives I feel like I met out here that I built with, and if you've been following me, you've seen Angie and my stuff.
Yes,
we did the skate day video.
Dude, absolutely. Every time I go back, I'm like, fuck, that was a good time.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we recorded that on. We ran into this like kid, right?
Oh yeah,
like,
I still keep in touch with him sometimes.
Me too, dude. He's actually in LA now, and I actually hit him up recently, and I was like, yo, like let's go out. And
wait, which kid are you talking about? The one with the skateboard?
Yeah. Do you know who I'm talking about?
The
tall guy. He was like really big on social media, like for his
skating. You know, it's so funny that you say that you bring him up.
Yeah.
I met people that do clothing brand.
Angel, what's his name?
Yeah, and they linked with him and had him like skate in one of their pieces of clothing. I was like, yo, I know him, and I brought up you.
Yeah, because it was funny. We just met him that day, like that. Well, just kidding. Anyways, we'll
Nah, if you got a story, tell it. But before, you keep telling.
I think we had met on Instagram first, to be honest. Right. Yeah, for sure. And I just happened to be that we were at the park that day, and he was there. And honestly, I didn't go up to. I think we both just went up to him. We were like, "Yo, you're." You know,
he was killing it.
Yeah, for sure, doing some crazy tricks. And then that guy in the overalls, that was pretty dope too.
Yeah, if y'all want to check out what we're talking about, if you go to the Mike Extras Back Instagram and on my reels, it's from like 2022, I think. Yeah. The very beginning of Sekular. Actually, I think I throw Sekular at the end of that video. But anyways.
Yeah, that's when you first were recording for Sekular. I remember. I actually have it in my phone, the sketch. That you sent me of Sekular.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, you sent me the sketch. It's on the notebook, and you're like, "What do you think?" You had because you reversed the E.
Oh, yep, the upside down shit.
Yeah, absolutely. Damn. That's crazy. I was just talking to my graphic designer not so long ago, and we just talked about wow, it's been almost 2 years, and I've been referring her like crazy. And this month we're working on some matchboxes, some merch for the radio, and we kind of just look back on all the work that we did, and we met online.
Fire.
You know, and it's just super cool. And we saw old sketches of stuff, and we're like, damn, we did that. You know, it was cool. But yeah,
all that to say, this is Angie, and I wanted to have Angie up here because Angie means a lot to me. She's someone who's in Denver doing stuff, but she's gonna be in and out of Denver going forward. But I'll let her explain that to you. So Angie, tell them what it is that you do, what you're passionate about, and we'll start with that.
All right. Well, I do a couple things. First of all, I work as a TV film creative at Make Sound. Make Sound's a agency. Don't
worry.
Okay, no.
They know that. If you follow me, you know that train's in the background, y'all.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I live downtown Denver.
Dude, so at my apartment too.
You can't get away from it.
You can't fucking get away from it. Yep. Anyways, work at Make Sound, LA-based music house. We do custom composition. I'm a music coordinator as well. We kind of just basically help put music behind movies and shows. Sync, as most like to talk or say it is. And then I have a radio called SPACEYBABY Radio, which I rotate film photographers.
You talking to me, by the way?
Huh?
You gotta talk to me.
Oh, okay. Cool. I didn't know if I had to look at the camera. Okay.
Nah, fuck that.
How about we?
They here to watch us.
Can I do this again?
No. Just keep going. It's fine. It don't matter.
Okay. I think it's so weird when it comes.
Or do you want to start it again?
Yeah, I think
that's fine. That way you could. It looks more.
Yes, because I'm looking at the camera. But that part we can just
clip in.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's start. Right. Okay. Okay. I work as a TV, film, music creative at Make Sound. We do custom composition, sound design, and sync. For those who don't know what sync is, it's basically placing music behind movies and shows that these music supervisors seek. We work closely with them. And then I also have a radio called SPACEYBABY RADIO, where I rotate film photographers, upcoming artists, and then our just main focus is, shining upcoming artists on our show or on our radio weekly. And then I also work in sports betting. I'm not going to say the company just because, but that's what I work in in fraud. So, and then I'm also a film photographer and just a creative in general. I think that's just what I do. I do a lot. I know I do a lot. And if you're in Colorado, I'm also part of the board at the Colorado Music Alliance group. So here. So if you're an artist or a creative,
what do they do? What is that?
So it's basically just like a community. It's like we're trying to get resources for the music community out here, right? Like it's a nonprofit. We're trying to push boundaries here. I think the problem here is that everyone's sort of spread out, and we kind of just need to come together, and that's what the Alliance group is. And with that, you would have some guidance. We're bringing resources, we'll have events, we'll help artists, all that type of stuff.
Facts. It seems like Denver, this is mad random, but just thinking off what you said, Denver, like, they need, like, curators in a way to, like, bring the things together. Obviously, I'm not saying people aren't doing that. I know people are saying this who are doing that.
Yeah.
Don't think we're not saying you're not doing that. But, like, it's just missing that in a way. Like,
no,
I guess why I get why you're saying.
We just need to emphasize it. That's the issue here. So, yeah, we're all kind of just, everyone's doing cool shit everywhere, but we kind of just need to bring it together. Like one of my friends, Kelsey, who actually runs and found the Alliance group, she likes to say, like, oh, we just all need to get in the elevator and go up.
Facts. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. I love that she says that. But yeah. And I love Colorado, and I think things are really starting to happen here.
I agree.
Again, it's like a time and patience thing, and just community. Again, like I can't emphasize community enough, because I think we really need that out here. And then
Facts.
Which is stirring up. I'm not saying
stirring
it's
up.
not.
I agree.
Not stirring. Yeah. But yeah, that's just what I do, and I've been here for 2 years. I'm originally from Florida, that, South Florida, Naples 239. I love to say it.
Hey, fire.
Love to rep my city. And that's where I'm actually going to be heading for the next 3 months. Well, 2 months, and then gonna spend a month in Orlando, and then if God allows me, then I'll move to LA in February. So that's the plan.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm excited.
How did SPACEYBABY Radio? This is what I love about you. Your thing I really like. I think it's fire. I think
Thank you.
The visuals and stuff you put out is fire.
Appreciate
a lot of people.
I don't do it by myself. I do it with a lot of people. I do it with Neil. I do it with Devin. Devin's been one of the realest people I've met out here, who first helped me and started helping me on the radio.
Shout out to Devin.
Yeah. Shout out to Mitch as well. Mitch Jackson out in New York. Homie, always supported my visions, always helped me, got my shit developed and scanned. And then, I think I'm Diana, who's my graphic designer and a friend. She's really the one, like, we worked together. She did the logo, she did the branding. Like, we did it together, but it wouldn't have been that without her. So she's a big part of that. And these are all people that have helped me so much. And everyone that sends me music. Allie Hall, shout out to Allie Hall. She's super dope. Libby at Lettuce and Cheddar. She's been someone that I've been able to, like, hey, what do you think about this? She's also a music curator. And then, those are just some things, or some people that have really helped me out. So it's something I really just haven't been able to do alone. So.
Fire. So how does, I know I've asked you this before, and this is the point, is to get to this. Like, you curate playlists, right?
Yeah.
How does one get into that? Like when you was at home, when you was a kid, like did you make the mixtapes for the family? Was you like the family mixtape girl?
So it's funny because I come from like, okay, so I didn't start getting into music maybe when I was in college. My dad worked in music. I grew up like going to concerts, Mexican concerts, like, you know, music was always like played in our house, but it wasn't until like I was in finance. I went to a DJ set in Miami and one of my friends didn't want to go. She was like, nah, like let's not. And I was like, nah, dude, like this is a good set. And I went to it and yeah, it kind of just it changed the way, like I thought I wanted to DJ. And then I was like, no, like let me just start off. It's like I made a playlist called Wine and Dine and it did really well. And like I just enjoyed like curating an experience and a vibe. Like it wasn't necessarily, you know, the music, like and so yeah, I kind of just, it was like day by day thing. I just started, I was like, all right, SPACEYBABY Radio, let me just start putting playlists together. I had friends that were like, dude, you're just so fucking creative, like you should do something, you know? And I was like, yeah, you know, and I was just doing too much analytical finance things that I needed a break. I needed a creative break, and that was it. That was SPACEYBABY Radio. And I didn't do it like for anything or anyone. I did it for me. Like I was like, oh, like this is a vibe. I like curating vibes. Like it was also like it's also like a time machine thing. Like, I go back and I look at all these playlists. And I was like, yo, that's exactly how I felt at that time. And I don't know, kind of just bring some.
It's like the soundtrack to your life.
Yeah, absolutely, for fucking sure. So yeah, that's what SPACEYBABY. Yeah, that's what I do. Just curate vibes and playlists, and then so yeah, it started like that, and then I was working at Robin Hood. And I told my boss, and I was like, yo, I don't want to work in finance anymore. I like music. I have this radio called SPACEYBABY Radio. It's just a curation platform, you know? And he was like, oh, let me introduce you to one of my closest friends who's a music supervisor. He's like, maybe you should think about doing something like that, you know? And I was like, oh, like, what is music supervision? I didn't know what it was. And he explained it, and then later that day I got laid off, and I met Tanisha, who's still my mentor, and she kind of guided me in a way of like showing me like, oh, like this is what we do as music supervisors. You're basically doing the same thing, but as a music coordinator, like you're creating vibes, you're putting this together. Like think about, you know, maybe that line of work. And she was like, and she really liked my work. Like that was cool, you know? So, you know, SPACEYBABY Radio helped me get into the industry, if I'll be honest. Like that, it was super cool to see that, because I didn't do it for that, if that makes sense, you know? Yeah. It just kind of aligned, and I met the right person, and then she introduced me to Sharon. Sharon was the head of BAM Music, and she was looking for a coordinator for temporarily. And then
you got your hair on your chin. There
thank you. Sorry. And yeah, I met her, and then she offered me a job as a music supervisor, and then that's when I got to like, that's when I started really like digging my feet. And I think when I got that job, SPACEYBABY Radio also just improved, right? Because I was just listening to all types of music. I was listening to all types of genres, being introduced to new artists, and it kind of just, then I thought, I was like, oh my God, I think it was 2023 when I was like, all right, this year I'm going to focus on my branding, and then so that I could push it out for 2024. And that's what I did this year. And then next year I want to work on visuals.
That's fine. I have a question for you.
Thank you. Yeah.
When did SPACEYBABY Radio?
Yeah.
For y'all who don't know, for a lot of y'all who do know, SPACEYBABY Radio, a lot of the artwork is like this really cinematic look, vintage look. So I want to tie the two together in a second.
Yeah.
Before we tie the two together, when and how did you get into that? Like when did you start getting into like cinematography and the visuals and like curating that? How'd you get into that?
You know, I probably didn't get into film photography. I'll be straight up with you. Probably in 2021, and I was shooting on disposables because a lot of my homies back home, and Jamil, shout out to Jamil, he owns Not Another oh sorry
that's all right, he definitely does not own that.
No, he owns On a Roll. Ashley owns Not Another Film Lab. Shout out to my girl. Sorry, we're gonna have to not maybe put that.
Yeah, we can edit that. It's fine. Okay. And even if it does, like, we mess up. We're humans. He does not own another film lab.
Jamil owns On a Roll Film Lab in Naples.
Nice.
And he was a big film photographer, and just, I don't know, I was just like surrounding myself. My friend Melissa, she was a film photographer. And then last but not least, Mitch. Like, I feel like if there's anyone that pushed me to shoot more, it was Mitch. And Mitch lived in New York, and I was shooting on disposables, and he operates the lab in New York called New York Film Lab, and he was like, no more disposables. He sent me an Olympus LT1, and ever since then he was like, you're too good at what you do, like, to be shooting on disposables, you know. And I didn't have money, and it was just a surprise. It was super cool. And once I got that camera, it was over. Like, I just started shooting. I was also really getting into movies. I don't know, I think my artistic standpoint, or just like view, changed when I got that camera. I was just actively shooting, actively around people that were also shooting. And then I was like, you know what? Like, how about we just merge those two together, right? Like, film photos, right? Because you're just like really just trying to take photos of how you feel. And my photos just happened to come out artsy or artistic, you know, and then I was like, all right, let me play this with this text, you know, because I wanted to change the cover art, and I wanted to make it more like creative. Again, just trying to create a vibe. And damn, my phone's ringing.
That's all good.
I know you told me to.
Now your audio is gonna sound crappy at this second.
Let me.
Not my audio. My audio. She's putting the phone closer to my audio to mess up my audio.
Someone's calling me.
It's all right. I don't feel it, but anyway, keep going.
Anyways, and I forgot where I was at.
You were in the middle of saying how you wanted to change the cover art of SPACEYBABY Radio.
Yeah, I wanted something new. I wanted something refreshing. And like, I don't know, I can't really tell you what pinpointed that idea. I was just around so much good energy and people that were into that. And I was just inspired by, like, you know what, people, graphic designers, you know, like the type and the work, and movies that I would watch, like the movie title screens. There was a specific movie where I was like, yo, that, any and all Stanley Kubrick's movies, his movie title credits are insane, like from beginning to end. And that was also very inspiring. But yeah, I don't know. And then I just was like, you know what, I know more film photographers, you know, I'm going to ask them to see if they would send me photos. Shout out to everyone that has sent me photos, because I've asked a bunch of people and they'll be like, yeah. And then they never do. And then.
Welcome to the creative industry.
Like, just tell me, like, yo, I'd rather, like, you know, just tell me no. You
Facts.
know?
I wish so many people would do that.
Don't lie, you know? And then certain people really, like, just send me packs. Jordan Peace, another guy I met through Neil. Oh my God, Neil was shout out to Neil. He's in Orlando. He's a film photographer, and he sends me stuff like frequently. And Devin, so does Devin. But yeah, they would just send me packets, and I kind of just store them, and I'll kind of play with them around on Canva. And I'll change like the type, and, you know, and then I'll sit and I'll play the playlist through. And I'm like, all right, does this match the vibe, you know? So it really depends also how I feel that week, because that's what the vibes are curated off.
I think that's dope. Yo, she mentioned something that I think a lot of people would take notes, no matter what your creative direction is.
Yeah.
If you're a creative, you mentioned packs. So when I think of packs, I feel like when producers is trying to get a beat on an artist or whatever, they're going to send the artist like a pack, like a 10 pack or something. You know what I mean? So like, if you're a creative and you're trying to get on their network and do stuff with people, like, that's a fire idea. Like, if you was a photographer, you out taking shots, you know, someone who curates music playlists, you send them a 10 pack of images, you never know where that might lead you or go. And it could be a network of opportunities. I think that's fire that you said that.
Yeah.
And you're open to receiving that as well too,
Absolutely.
Right?
I'm like, yo, if you guys got photos, like, please send them through, you know. And then it kind of gives me like, yeah, and I'll scroll, like, typically I'll, like, this is my way of working. Like, I sit down, I'll sit at my desk, I'll smoke a J, and like, I'll turn off my lights, and then that's when I'll start looking through the packs of the photos, and I'll be like, oh, I could see this whenever I may feel like this. And it also comes down to organizing, right? Like how you organize your folders and your photos, and you title
them would be like a sad pack, and it'd be like 10 images of sad images. Correct, in that folder.
Like it would be like tropical, okay, all photos tropical, so that's like just a way of how I process things and how I get it done. Because a lot of the time too, I'll look at my own photos, I'm like, I don't really like this, and someone else will see and they're like, dude, that's so sick, and I'm like, fuck, like, so I, to get out of my head, I like to look at other people's photos, because they send me packs of like photos they didn't use. I'm like, how did you not use this? This is sick, That
was like their throwaways.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm 100% grateful for them, because they've turned into some like cool cover arts, right? And they, as an artist and as a photographer, think like, yo, that, like, I didn't really like it, and then.
But we're all like that as creatives.
For sure, But it's also like, I'm sure I look at my work and someone looks at it and they're like, no, I don't really like that. And I may think differently, but it also, it's like how everyone receives it, I guess, right?
And that's the importance of actually just putting stuff out instead of holding on.
Yes.
Because this is something I struggle with. This is me talking at things speaking to myself, but speaking out loud is like, there's times like I won't put things out because I don't think it's of par or whatever, but then someone might catch a wind of it and is like, yo, that was fire. Hence why you should always put stuff out no matter the outcome of it, because it could turn out any way.
Yeah, I was playing pool with a friend.
Like pool? Like
yeah,
shooting?
like
yeah,
shooting
like
pool. Yeah, we were at a bar and we were playing pool, and he was talking about like, he's a photographer, went to school for photography, and was like, yo, like, I don't like to put stuff out. I'm like, what? Like, he's like, I'm like, you should really consider that. Like if that's like something you went to school for, I'm like, I was like, you never know who's looking at your work. I've had some crazy people reach out to me and be like, yo, I never thought that it would come across them, or they would even think that, yo, that this is sick. But they've messaged me and they were like, yo, your work is sick, And it's like, cool, like, I know I'm doing something well and other people are inspired by it. I'm like, you just got to put it out. Like,
facts.
And you can't really care, like, if you're always like seeking perfection, then you're never, like, it's never the right time to do something. Like, facts. You just got to do it. You
always could do something better.
Correct.
But as long as you're
but you get better at within time, right? Like, it isn't until you post and you're like, oh, well, I didn't really like how this looks. Well, let me try it again, And I love that. I wish more people were like that, but people are so like, I don't know what it is about people. Maybe they're not creatives and they're just general people where they're like, oh, I hate this. I hate social media. Like, people be like, I hate social media, and I'll see them like spend all their time on social media.
But they don't post anything. I have a saying for that. It's called viewers versus doers. They're the viewers. There's people who do like actually create media art or whatever and put it out, and then they're creators, they're doers. Then there's the people who view and they don't even post. I agree. They just be there like.
But they be there all day, bro, all day.
And they say they don't be on social media. My sister's like that.
Fuck out of here.
Mindy, I hope if you see this, you like that, Mindy. You say you don't be on social media, yeah, you always sending us reels.
What? I'm a fucking hater. I don't care, dude. I'm a hater. I really don't be talking all that shit. Like, if you really not, like, I know people that are not on social media and really stay off of it, know? And like, they stand on, but like, don't say you hate social media and then scroll all day and be like, and not post anything because it's cringe. Like, fuck out of here. Like,
yeah, give me something.
If you're a creative, I do it for me. I'm just trying to get my work out there. Like, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
That's a fact.
Like, closed mouths don't get fed.
That's a fact.
Unless you're in these rooms like already deep in with these people, like, you don't, then I see like, okay, cool, but
no, that's fire. Thanks for sharing that.
Thank you.
It's funny you mentioned about smoking a joint and turning the lights off, and that's how you execute great work. No wonder why you were thrown off when you smoked the joint and put the lights on. You're like, whoa, I'm used to the lights off.
I wasn't ready for this. And I spent a lot of my time working in my room. Like, I'm on the computer all day, every day, So I think that's also like a good balance between being a creative as well. So like, when I'm out, I'm in it, like, I'm meeting people, I'm talking to people, I feel creative, like, and then I'm in my room and I'm not talking to anyone. I'm by my computer for like 8 hours straight. And I'm like, fuck, So, I mean, it's good because I feel like when you spend so much of your time just always creating, like, it burns you out and you're just sometimes you just gotta let things be, you know? Like in the flow of the energy, who you surround yourself with.
It's important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, how have you done, this is, just continuing the conversation. How have you done as a creative in Denver? How do you feel about, whether it be creative or not, how have you done? I feel like you've done great in networking in Denver. I've seen you do great in networking. What do you feel like have been your strengths in this city?
I think I'll 100% just being myself, like, and just saying what's up to people. Like, yo, I'm friendly. I think it's just a personality thing, Like, I've met a lot of people, and I don't know, I'm never afraid to say what's up to someone. I think that's one of my biggest strengths, is just being personable. I don't know. Also, again, I'm also like just pushing so much of my work out that people are like running into it online, like DNA. I met my boy DNA through Twitter, and then he was like, yo, like we should work together, and we did. And now, like, I don't know, since like, I would have been like, oh, he's just this guy on Twitter, he's just trying to be a musician. But I met up with him, and now he's really making a difference in the city, right? It's just like people who you surround yourself, like, and just, I don't know. I think just like being creative, like being within community. Again, we talked about Not Another and how they're cultivating community. Like, it's so sad that I'm about to leave, and I met so many cool people. I
like the collab between the Keith and Ashley. Have done. I mean, with film, Not on the Film that has done is amazing. Even with the photo walks. And I've just learned about them recently, and I know they've been around doing things for a little bit longer. Sick. But shout out to Not on the Film Lab, 100%. Mad love for that. Ash and the team over there. But the thing that really brought me in recently that I like, and I haven't been able to attend, is the collab with the film friends. I think that's bringing a community of people that I could have never even imagined. But seeing people actually cultivate it and actualize it. Like last night, I was looking at the posts on social media. It looked like they had a good amount of people there. I was like, yo, that's fire. This is like Denver, and all y'all want to see short films and like contribute to a community. I thought that was fire.
Absolutely. And everyone there is a creative, I think, that goes to those, right? And that's the part, like, that's why, like, that's the secret to this all, is just community and being there and saying what's up and, like, showing up, like, and then you get talking to these people and these ideas bounce off, like, just so organically and naturally. And then, again, 99% of the time, these other people want to create something, So it's cool to have a safe space like that where everyone's just like, yo, what's up? And even if it's not, like, maybe I'm pushing it too much on that too, but yo, just like meeting people and kicking in with them and talking to them, like,
we've done that mad times. That's how we built our friendship.
Absolutely. Just like, yo, kicking it, talking, like, it doesn't always have to be work, that's also cultivating. Like, so many times I've been with you and we'll be out and I'm like, yo, this picture is rad, like, or sorry, this room is rad, like, let me take a picture, It's just doing things.
Facts.
Like, and I think that's just one of my biggest strengths, is just saying what's up, being around people.
Yeah, as far as it's helped, I've seen it myself.
Yeah,
that's why I brought that up.
You got to be outside. Like,
outside's important.
I had one of my friends, Surf. He always tells me, like, yo, you just got to be outside. Like, because I've been trying to move to LA for the longest time. He's like, shit is gonna start popping for you until you get there. Like, you have to be there. You have to meet people. And I was like, you're right. Like, I just got to be. I did the and I met, I don't want to, like, I met so many cool people online too that turned into friends.
That's how I met you.
Yeah, online. Absolutely. Like, these are all, again, I don't know. I don't know if people just think they're just too cool to say what's up or too cool to not, like, yo, like, just like being cool, saying, I don't know, just being friendly.
I think it's also too, in my opinion, this is my opinion perspective, the people that move here from other places, those are the people I see linking up, connecting. I feel like trying to break in with the locals, in my opinion, is like the harder part. For me, at least, it's like I'm trying to still learn and understand the locals, and I think that's why it took me, like, I've been out here for 6 years. And not to make this about me or anything, but just to kick game to people is like, you just can't move somewhere and think it's gonna get hot. You're gonna make it hot. Some people would do work, but you might get hate from the locals because you haven't put in the groundwork to understand the town, the city, the people here, who does what. Correct. Like who's in, you know what I mean? Because you don't want to just overstep people and move somewhere and do things. Yeah, you might get recognition or whatever, but it's like you want respect at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
And you want respect from the people in the city that you're in doing the work.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's what I've been trying to do in the past 6 years I've been here, is like understanding the lifestyle here, how people live here, how people move here, where's the hood, where's all these different things, so I could just know how I can move with my business and move in a strategic way where I could just love on the city and the locals and build something out of a respect and not just, I'm here, I do creative shit, look at me.
Yeah, no, again, like being invested within the community and the culture of Colorado, right? Like, I don't 100% agree. I didn't understand Colorado until I started hiking.
I still don't understand Colorado.
I feel like yeah, it's very predictable, and not in a bad way, because I think people here are super friendly. Like I've heard people be like, yo, I'll go to Florida. I'm like, yo, that's a different breed. Like,
facts.
You know, like Colorado's super chill, super nice. Like, people are really earthy and just very grounded. You know what I also noticed about here too? Like when I go to concerts, people are really off their phones. Like, I've gone to concerts in other states and not, you know, I don't know. I feel like people in Colorado are just very grounded.
We got the mountains right there. I think that plays it plays a huge impact. Being that close to nature, that, like, you ever like come from the airport, like down to, you ever take the A train from the airport down to the city?
Yes, I have to.
Or like go to Union Station, or come somewhere from the airport driving to downtown Denver, and you see like we have big buildings downtown. I can't front, but then the mountains behind the buildings. If you ever see it, it looks like the mountains can just like eat the buildings. And I feel like having that big of a nature force in your area, it helps ground you a little bit.
Absolutely, it's so healing. This summer, I fucking took full advantage of hiking every weekend I could, just to like, you feel so small, like when you're there, you know, like you just like, and you really, most of the time you don't have cell service. You're really trying to catch your breath too with the altitude, like, and you look around and you're like, yo, like this just, it's really nice. It's just really grounding, and it's just really like, damn, like none of this shit really matters. You know, I'm just here enjoying it. Like, I'm just happy to be here type stuff. But yeah, and I feel like a lot of people are like here. A lot of people here are like that. They're just within nature, you know, minding their own business, out of their way type stuff.
All right, I got a question for you. With you, since we're talking about this landscape, I like the way this conversation is going. And I like not having questions. I know,
this is a good flow.
Yeah, I like having just a natural flow. It doesn't seem too organized.
Of course. Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
But now that you're transitioning out of Denver, you're going to transition out of here. You're still going to be back and forth, but you're not. This isn't going to be home ground anymore.
Correct.
And you've seen, like you mentioned, the community's been coming together out here and a lot of things. What is one thing you'll miss about Denver?
Straight up the mountains. Like, that's just... I found so much inner peace just being in the mountain. Straight up, like, just going out Sunday mornings, like, drive an hour, 2 hours to the mountains and going for a hike. I think that's what I'll miss the most. I'll be honest,
What's something you won't miss?
Oh, that's a tough question. What's something I won't miss? The fucking snow. I'm a Florida girl, born and raised. I've never dealt with the snow. And I do not like leaving my place. Like, I found myself like spending so much of my time outside. I couldn't go on my hike. You know, I don't have the best car either to me. You know, I don't like driving in the snow. So that's definitely something I won't miss. But yeah, that. And the people that I've met here, I've met some real, genuine
I'm not one to talk.
I'm fucking talking dying. Talk about putting my phone on airplane mode.
I don't even have it on I have it on loud. I don't even have it on vibrate.
Yo, wow. I have my phone. I put my phone on D&D, and they still called me.
I am comedy. My bad, y'all. I got to put it in airplane mode.
I got to see what they said, actually.
Yeah, my bad. You go.
3 times. Crazy.